As I write this script, I can already feel the thumbs clacking on the keyboard, ready to rip me apart. Before you call me a fat, pro-Snyder, anti-Snyder, this or that, hear me out. If this movement has shown me anything, it's a disability for both sides to just listen. Frankly, that's an issue with a lot of things nowadays. Anywho, so if you have a life, probably some kids, maybe some really cute puppies, or a really needy goldfish, you're probably asking, Mr. Tot, what the hell is a Snyder Cut? Film director Zack Snyder is the basis of this, I guess it's a movement? Known for directing 300, Watchmen, Batman vs Superman, and Man of Steel, the director has created one of the most devout followings in Hollywood. Snyder is known for his vivid imagery and dark storytelling methods. While he had developed a huge following for his wildly divisive films, it was clear that it wasn't setting well with majority audiences and filmgoers. Trouble started brewing during production of Snyder's Justice League. Chris Terrio, who wrote Batman vs Superman, was brought on to write Justice League. Unfortunately, heads would knock when DC Entertainment president Jeff Johns then decided to do extensive rewrites. WB was ultimately unhappy with how Justice League was shaping up after the negative feedback received from Batman vs Superman. In May of 2017, during the post-production of Justice League, Snyder's daughter passed away. This tragic event led to Snyder stepping away from the movie entirely. WB then signed on longtime director and writer Joss Whedon. Whedon, who wrote and directed Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron, would then go on to do extensive reshoots to the film. After months of additional shooting, $25 million added to the budget, the film was then released in November of 2017. The issues start with what had become of Snyder's vision. While it's unfair to say that WB was capitalizing on a tragic event involving the film's former director, it is a curious note when you do hire a director known for the Avengers to take over. The results? Disastrous. Justice League would go on to cost $300 million and lose the studio over $60 million. Not only did it lose faith from the critics, but those die-hard Zack Snyder supporters. The film lacked the heart, the substance, and the connection Snyder had built from Man of Steel to Batman vs Superman. The studio's intervention dramatically changed the final product. Scenes that Snyder shot were completely removed. Superman's infamous black suit, which played a large part in his resurrection, was retconned. Darkseid, who would have been the universe's main villain, was removed from several scenes. Several supporting cast scenes were removed entirely. Scenes that helped develop Victor Stone, aka Cyborg, were removed. Snyder's vision was said to be roughly more than an hour longer than was actually released. That being said, Whedon did add this Russian family, because I don't know. Rumors had largely circulated about a Snyder Cut being out in the world almost instantly. In March of 2019, after being asked by a fan, Snyder confirmed the existence of the cut, stating it was up to the studio to release it. While for different reasons, this is a similar situation director Richard Donner went through directing Superman 2. His vision and direction was completely changed for the benefit of the studio. So why is this important? The Snyder Cut movement has been growing larger and larger by the day. At one point, it was trending on Twitter with over 40,000 tweets. Numerous publications were talking about it, and this brings me really to the main point, the power we as an audience possess. Warner Brothers has been stuck in a loop of figuring out what works and what doesn't. After Nolan's Batman films, no man or woman has piloted the plane for their universe, but someone did. MCU had Kevin Feige. Regardless of what you think, he had a larger vision at hand, one that allowed the MCU to be successful. Warner Brothers had theirs and pushed him away. Instead of worrying about telling a storyline that was cohesive, Warner Brothers was worried about chasing the carrot being a shit ton of money. Studios have financial obligations, and that's completely understandable. However, there's a fine line to walk between telling stories and financially benefiting from them, and finding a way to financially benefit from a story. WB should worry about telling stories to those core fans and hoping, with the right direction and writing, to draw in larger audiences. Like Marvel fans and those who support the MCU, Snyder fans support his films and his universe just as much. If this growing movement is a sign, maybe they're even more passionate about it. Do I think these films are masterpieces? No. The same could be said for the MCU. However, they have a place in our storytelling cultures. Releasing the Snyder Cut would be a win-win for the studio, as it would not only be a financial gain for the studio, but also an olive branch to the fans they've soured over the years. Unfortunately, the ball remains firmly in WB's court. It took Mr. Donner 26 years to wait for his cut. Hopefully, we don't have to wait that long.